I wanted to, not have time for all the things I'd like to ask, and they all laughed. They All Laughed is a great movie about New York City, and an awful lot of it is shot in the streets. What's that like, working with actors in a crowded city like that? I mean,
well, it was Audrey Hepburn's last starring role, and we couldn't have done it if she hadn't been such a trooper. I mean, she didn't insist on having a trailer nearby or a seat, a chair on the set. We couldn't have done it. We had a whole sequence which went on for quite a long time in the picture, along Fifth Avenue during the daytime. Well, what are you going to do? You can't close down Fifth Avenue. There's no way. And you can't have enough we couldn't afford to have enough extras to people our shots and exclude real people. So we took the opposite approach. We became very small. We told the majority of the crew to stay by the trucks 20 blocks away. We kept the actors in stores. And we had no chairs on the set. We did everything with hand signals, That meant get Audrey and bring her out, or whatever it was. We did no slates, no clapper, and all that. We just did a clap our hands in front of the camera. We had about 4 or 5 people from the crew there, only the essential people. And we had 10 extras who sort of stood around blocking the camera so people didn't see the camera. And we would, just call the actors when we needed them for the shot. And they'd be sitting in a beauty salon or a shop or a boutique or whatever, and they'd come out and do the shot, and then they'd go back to another shop. That's how we did it. And Audrey would come over to me and say, "Oh, look, Peter, look, they gave me this wonderful umbrella." "Oh, look, Peter, look at this lovely handkerchief they gave me." I said, "Okay, well, next shot we're going to work you can work the other side of the street." She was adorable, by the way. She was so sweet. I miss her.
You said about that film once, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that was the last film you felt like you had really total control over. And in fact, I think a lot of people who were close to you were in that film. Your daughters are in that film, right? Yeah. But this goes back to what I was asking you before about your interest in the past and that sort of thing. Seeing that film as a kind of marking point in your career, I feel there was this moment of opportunity in the new American cinema that you exemplified so well, and I don't feel the situation is as good today. You are a great movie lover, and I wonder if you still love the movies. Do you think today is not as good as it used to be?
No, that's not by a long shot. I think the period from about 1912 to about 1962, which is the sort of studio system, which is the only time it all worked, made sense, really. I mean, it wasn't one film at a time. Everybody was under contract, and films were what they made, That's what they were in the business of making films. They didn't work for General Electric. They didn't work for Viacom. They were, each studio was its own entity. And then, at the end of the 60s, there was a short revival where the director sort of suddenly took precedence, largely because of pictures like Bonnie and Clyde, Faces, Last Picture Show, 5 Easy Pieces, those pictures that were quirky and director-oriented, and public went to see them, Easy Rider. And then that fell apart, basically, with Jaws and Star Wars, where everybody said they wanted to have, blockbusters exclusively, and it's gone downhill since then. So that what used to be the B picture, science fiction, horror, that kind of stuff, action adventure, those were used to be the B pictures. They're now the A pictures. And the A pictures are a struggle to make. Couldn't make picture shown in there. I mean, you wouldn't make it with a studio. You'd make it independently.
I can talk to you.
Things haven't gotten better. I was talking to Gore Vidal the other day, and he said, well, you know, he was saying that Avatar was the worst film he'd ever seen. And I said, really? I haven't seen it yet. He said, oh, it's terrible. You know what? The terrible thing is America never had any culture. This country never had any culture. We've gone from no culture to decadence without a break. Gore is harsh.
I love talking with you, and I can keep it up, and I'm sure there's some people in the audience who would like to ask you a few questions.
Can you talk a little about Target that maybe...
Targets was my first film. Was with Boris Karloff. It was what Boris used to call his last film. He was 79 when he made it, had emphysema and had braces on both legs. He was a real trooper, though. That was an assignment, really. Roger Corman gave me a chance. I worked with him on The Wild Angels. It was quite a successful film. First motorcycle picture that was successful. And I wrote about 80% of the script with no credit and directed the second unit with no credit. But I learned a lot. And Roger decided to give me a chance to make my own picture. So he said, I want you to shoot, Boris Karloff owes me 2 days' work. I want you to shoot, if you're interested, I want you to shoot 20 minutes of Boris Karloff footage in 2 days. You can shoot 20 minutes in 2 days. I shot whole pictures in 2 days. Now you've got 20 minutes of Karloff. Now I want you to take 20 minutes from a picture we made, not a very good picture, but it's not, you know, you can take 20 minutes out of it. It's called The Terror. Take 20 minutes of Karloff footage from that. Now we got 40 minutes of Karloff. Then I want you to shoot with some other actors for 10 days, shoot another 40 minutes. Now I've got a brand new Boris Karloff picture. Are you interested? Yeah, sort of. And then we saw Target. We saw Terror. It was unspeakably bad. I couldn't see how to take 10 seconds out of it. 40 minutes. But anyway, through a process of elimination, we came up. Well, it actually ended up. The inspiration came from a joke. I said, I know how we're going to begin this movie. We showed the end of The Terror. The lights come up, and Roger Corman is sitting next to Boris Karloff, and Boris turns to him and says, "Roger, that is the worst film ever." And I thought, wait a second, that's not bad. What if he's an actor? And then the footage we use is from a movie he made. And then my editor at Esquire had made a suggestion a few months back that maybe we should make a film. I was writing for Esquire at the time. That maybe we should make a film about this guy Whitman, Charles Whitman, who went up to the University of Texas Tower in 1966 and shot for no reason at all about 30 people, including his parents. So then we thought that would be interesting to take that story of a sniper and a story about an aging horror movie star who finds that horror, his kind of Victorian horror, isn't horrible anymore, and contrast the two and cross-cut between the two, and it became quite an interesting movie. And it's a kind of cult picture. You can get it on DVD. Paramount ended up buying it. We ran into some trouble in the release because just before it was supposed to be released, Bobby Kennedy and then Martin Luther King and then Bobby Kennedy were shot. And certain elements of the shooting were similar to the kid in the movie, so part of Paramount said, let's release it and cash in. The other part said, let's never release it. So they compromised and released it as a kind of anti-gun control, or pro-gun control movie, but you can imagine how it would have hit that way. So it got good reviews, set me up for the last picture show, but it's a cult. And Boris is wonderful in it.
It's a great movie. I'm glad you asked.